there's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Get away from it all in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Yeah, can I get the taco burger value combo?
$15.
That's a value?
It's a taco and a burger, man.
I know it's a taco and a burger, but come on.
Can you find a better value?
Yeah, I can find a better value right across the street.
At the bait shop?
No, not at the bait shop, at the gas station. I can get a South Dakota Lottery scratch game for as little as $1.
No one ever wins.
You can actually win thousands of dollars. Almost enough to eat here.
Good fun. Must be 18 to play. Please play responsibly.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
And here's what you need to know.
Detroit Lions four-time Pro Bowl center Frank Ragnow announced his retirement today. Ragnow, just 29 years old. He played 7 seasons in the NFL, but posted on Instagram, quote, "I've tried to convince myself that I'm feeling good, but I'm not, and it's time to prioritize my health and my family's future," unquote. ESPN reports Houston Texans cornerback Ronald Darby is retiring after 10 seasons. New England Patriots receiver Stephon Diggs was back at their OTA practice today after being absent all last week, during which a video surfaced of Diggs frolicking on a boat with 3 women, as well as an unidentified pink substance. The Atlanta Falcons said tight end Kyle Pitts dealing with an undisclosed injury that's kept him off the practice field during their OTAs. NBA ESPN reports the Phoenix Suns narrowed their head coaching search down to Johnny Bryant and Jordan Ott, who are both assistants with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, good Monday afternoon. Welcome in. Let's get it going today, huh? Hope you're doing great and had a great weekend. We're back and ready on Fox Sports Radio, home of South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Welcome in, afternoon drive, ready to go. Let's get you out the door and into a great show tonight. It is always a great day in South Dakota. We know that. The Nate Brown Show is back on. Welcome you in on the radio side. Remember, you can listen and watch this show live on X. Follow us at Nate Brown Show. A lot of coverage there on X. We interact with you as well. So follow the show, answer our questions of the day, watch the show live at Nate Brown Show on X. And one more place, YouTube. The YouTube channel is live. Subscribe. You've got the live show, the archive show. Search The Nate Brown Show, and you've got us on YouTube. Out of the gate on a Monday. Again, hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for making this show possible. Let's get you covered from South Dakota across the country. We'll try and do our best tonight. Let's take a look at the guest lineup and get going tonight. James Merilatt's going to pop in from Denver, denversports.com. The Colorado Rockies story I thought was going to get better as May wound down. They had their worst start in modern history, okay, the modern era history, worst start ever. Then May happened, and now they're on track for the worst team ever. The worst team in the history of Major League Baseball. The Rockies are still stuck on 9 wins, 9-50. Unbelievable. James Merilatt covering it. What's the deal in Denver with this Rockies team? I mean, this is unbelievable. 9-50, denversports.com. He is on tap. Plus, Deion Sanders talking over the weekend about Shedeur Sanders. Now, how are we going to read this situation here? Is Deion going to bat for Shedeur? Is this helping the situation? We will talk to James Merilatt. He's got the coverage. Let's go national with Brian Noe tonight, our guest from Fox Sports Radio. The show on the weekends right here is called Countdown with Brian Noe, and he's in on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Over to Sioux Falls, Dakota News Now. Zach Borg is in tonight talking South Dakota sports coverage in the state track meet, along with the play-by-play man from state track. I want to get his read, Alex Heinert, play-by-play broadcaster. He covered state track at Howard Wood over the weekend. We're in and out on a Monday. Let's get you on 605-720-1067. That's the Pizza Ranch studio hotline for you, 605-720-1067, Pizza Ranch studio hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch. Remember, the home of everyone's favorite buffet in Brandon, and also at 3809 East 10th Street, East Sioux Falls, and 2 locations in Rapid City. It's the Pizza Ranch, locally owned and operated. Let's get you on the text line if you want in there, 605-720-1067. That's the Barons-Wilson text line on the Nate Brown Show. Text us on the Barons-Wilson text line. It comes right in here to the app. It's open, 605-720-1067. Thanks for being a part of the show. Let's get going tonight. I'll start with the NBA Finals brief situation here. Just kind of want to get a read on this, get a feel on this, a brief deal on the NBA Finals. So I'm a big basketball fan. Some of you are maybe not basketball fans. You're king NFL, college football, and you're kind of that person. All sports fans are different. Yeah, as you know, we've talked Indy 500. I mean, Matt Kearney's just still basking in the glory of the Indy 500 coverage on this program. So we're all different sports fans. I'm a big basketball fan, so I'm looking forward to the NBA Finals every year. I think the NBA Finals is outstanding. I've been watching the conference finals. It's been really, really good. Wolves went down. We already discussed. I didn't love that. You got OKC against the Pacers. Now, here's what everybody's going to tell you nationally. Everybody's going to try and say, boy, if this was the Knicks or some big market team, we'd love to have the Knicks and a big market team in here, at least one, if we can't get both. Like last year, we got Boston. So you had the Celtics playing this thing out, and everybody thought that's the way you need it. You need a big market brand, a big team. As a basketball fan, I'm good with the Pacers and OKC. Maybe I'm the only guy. You can tell me. So I'll ask this general question of the day as we start this Monday. By the way, NBA Finals don't start till Thursday. Game 1 is Thursday. They set that just in case the series go long, stuff like this. You think they should be able to adjust that. But nonetheless, we're going to start Thursday, and I'm asking if you'll be plugged in for OKC Pacers. I know we wanted Wolves in this part of the country. That would have been a next-level thing, and the Wolves being to the NBA Finals for the first time and the whole thing, but you're not going to get it, so I don't know if there's going to be some sour grapes and people passing on this NBA Finals. So we got a listener text on the text line, 605-720-1067, saying, Nate, what the NBA didn't want were these two teams. So the Pacers, OKC, the NBA didn't want. But let me tell you, I thought this whole thing was rigged. I thought everybody didn't we try and rig stuff to put teams into place that we actually want to play? But okay, so that's all neither here nor there now. It's OKC Pacers. It should tell you how this thing plays out is just how the basketball bounces. It's just how it goes. I like the Pacers story. First time in the NBA Finals since 2000. Talking 25 years. OKC's got some good young brand players. Chet Holmgren, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So I, as a basketball fan, I'm good with it. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm a gimme. I'm what you call the network say, well, I've got this guy anyway. So they've got me. Do they have you? Our question of the day as we start this Monday. Then I want to get into some South Dakota sports media coverage, something I've been pondering to get your feedback on as South Dakota sports consumers. Let's get you on. Will you be plugged in? Pacers OKC is the NBA Finals. Nationally, they're going to tell you this is bad. This is Indianapolis and Oklahoma City. This is not going to pull in the ratings. You're not going to get New York. You're not going to get L.A. You're going to have the people in the middle of the country. How bad are the ratings going to be? Now, I do have to say, I'm making light of the big markets and the big brands. They think they need to own everything like college football. We always need the biggest brands in everything. I'm good with this. New teams, fresh players. I like Halliburton, the way he plays. I like watching these two teams play. They play really hard, good basketball team. So I'm a basketball fan. I like this matchup. I'm good with it. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm pulling Pacers on this just because OKC's bounced the Wolves and bounced the Nuggets. So I'm pulling Pacers in the NBA Finals. Is there any passion, like, oh, we really got to have one of these teams? That might be something that's missing. You don't hate either of these teams, I don't think, unless you don't like Shea and the flopping and the way he plays. But you don't hate any team. There's some factors here. I'm trying to pull this together, telling you, maybe the ratings will fall a little bit, and then you got the big media companies, East Coast, West Coast, are going to say, this is just how it goes. I can hear Colin Cowherd right now. This is just how it goes. You got OKC and Indiana. Nobody cares, but I'm asking you if you will be plugged in on Pacers OKC. I will be. 65% of you voting in the Twitter poll right now saying you will be. New teams to watch. 35% of you know I wanted the bigger teams. I wanted the bigger markets. I'm watching Thursday Game 1. I'll be watching the NBA Finals. I do every year. Is it a letdown? It's really not for me. I'm into the basketball side of this. Do we want Lakers, Celtics in a perfect world? Lakers, Knicks? I guess I would have liked watching the Knicks. I would have been okay with anybody. I'm just that guy. Are you okay with Pacers OKC? Thanks for getting on. You're live, and you go ahead.
Hey, Dave. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. What do you say?
Well, do people like good basketball or not? These are the two of the best teams in the league. What do you want? A bunch of worthless teams like the Lakers to see again?
Oh, there you go. I think you're accurate.
Their way to the title. Why don't you want to watch them? I don't get it.
But you know they're going to say that. You know that.
Those teams play good defense. You got more than one player that's a star.
Yes.
If you're a basketball purist, how can you not want the two? These two teams are very entertaining. They can play slow down. They can play get up the floor. They both can play really good lockdown defense. Why don't you like that if you like basketball?
Okay, I'm with you. What is your prediction, though, on the ratings? Do you think they're going to be lower than before?
Oh, yeah, all these East and West Coast knuckleheads that, only watch their own team. That's how they call themselves basketball fans. You're not a basketball fan. You don't want to watch the best teams that played their way in, then you're not a basketball fan. I'm sorry.
I like it, man. Thanks for getting on. I appreciate that. I think that's accurate. I think that's a good call. That's a good call. You don't want to watch the best teams playing? I'm just telling you, my prediction is, okay, you're going to have these big networks that want it to go well for their ratings. I understand ESPN, ABC, they want it to go well. But you're going to have some talk shows. You're going to have some people saying, if the ratings go down. See what I mean? It's Indiana and OKC. It's not as interesting. We want New York. We want L.A. We want some of these big markets here. We want Boston. I'll take the fresh teams. I like Halliburton trying to beat everybody now because they said he was the most overrated player, so I like that storyline. There's storylines here if you actually follow basketball, and that caller said good defense, good basketball, more than just one guy. This is good basketball right here. They play intense. I like that. People always say the NBA, they don't try and they don't hustle it. These two teams are getting after it hard. They're getting after it hard. So I think this is a great deal. If you're a basketball fan, you'll like the intensity and the basketball style here, I think. 65% of you say you will be plugged in for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. So I like to hear that. That's here in this market in South Dakota. 65% you want to be plugged in, new teams to watch. 35% don't want to watch. They want bigger brands. Let's go to this in South Dakota really quick on the Nate Brown Show, getting started on a Monday. There was something I was thinking about So you had state track at Howard Wood this past weekend. And I was following the coverage of this. I think it's really good. This goes back to what I've discussed on the show before. We're really lucky to have the SDPB coverage of our state championships. Like really lucky. I think they do an outstanding job with all the state championships. So you got state track that's covered, and you can watch this. I mean, it's really good. And then across the board, SDPB has done an outstanding job covering state events. I was starting to think about this over the past 10 years. Because even though SDPB is covering our state events, do we have enough sports coverage in the South Dakota media today? This is what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is there were a couple of people out there covering state track, for example, and we get coverage of some state events. What do you think of South Dakota sports coverage from the media in this changing world? And I'm going to say over the past 10 years, just think about it, the last decade. Is South Dakota sports coverage better or worse? And this is what I've talked about with this national thing as well. You have all these debate shows in TV, all of these back and forth and argument shows, and it's changed. It's totally twisted around. Now you get SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt, still a nice show, but you're lucky to, it's like, hey, I already got these highlights on my phone. It's instant. It's digital. There's a section of folks that say our instant gratification. It's right here on my phone. I get the best coverage now. It's right here on my phone. I don't have to wait to see the results of the state track meet over the weekend. I can, boom, it's instantaneous. I got a video of the 800, and it's right here. Some people say that's a better form of sports media in South Dakota. It's as good as it has been. But I'm talking about, I believe, the traditional media. Traditional. And I'll start with newspapers. There's no way we could say newspapers have better coverage now than they did 10 years ago, right? State track, you used to have so much media, whatever state event it is. You used to have so much media. By the way, I did radio play-by-play for a long time, like 20 years. Okay, I did radio play-by-play. I'd go to high school games. I think there would be 5 radio stations there. I think there'd be 5 radio stations. And I'm telling you this because the coverage was, I felt like there was more of it 10 years ago. Now it's on our fingertips. It's on our phones. We get the new media. We get the social media. Yes, we post a ton of stuff on Twitter, right? That's where you can get a lot of good coverage. If you're a sports fan and you're not on Twitter, by the way, I do encourage you to get on Twitter and follow the show. We used to just do this radio show, by the way, and now I guess we're a form of the new media. We stream this radio show on YouTube. We stream it on X. This is what you have to do. We're not the only show that does it, but one of the only in the state. If we didn't stream this show on X, by the way, we would limit our coverage. I know there's people that are listening on the radio for sure. That's a traditional media aspect. But we would limit our coverage from folks across South Dakota and beyond. We get people that are watching the show. We can see from many, many places, not just listening on the radio side. So it's an interesting deal. I thought about the coverage of state track. Really, really good because I'm seeing some of the videos posted right away. I'm seeing the races. SDPBs did an outstanding job. But I did think about, over the past couple of years, I feel like the coverage, the amount of it, of regular season basketball, football, volleyball, you don't get as much, I don't think. So it's a big question of the day I throw out to South Dakota sports fans. A question of the day today, I want you to sound off on this. I say traditional media outlets, newspapers, there's not as much coverage in the Argus Leader. There's not as much coverage in the Rapid City Journal. And the reason, I know the reason, cuts. Think about the sports teams in those two newspapers. They used to have some sports reporters. Roger Tolan back in the day for the Journal. Stu Whitney and Zimmer and the crew at the Argus. this was pretty good sports teams covering many things. So that's been cut by the big companies, but it has opened up to new media. Is the new media still providing as much coverage? I'm not sure on that. It's quicker. It's good. Some people say it might be better. You can get it right here, right now. What would you say? Has media coverage of South Dakota sports gotten better or worse in the past 10 years? I have a feeling that people are going to say, the newspaper readers are going to say, it's worse. Then the young crowd's going to say, what do you mean? It's really good. I've got it right here. I can stream stuff. I can get updates on stuff. I get it all live right here on my phone right now. I didn't have that 10 years ago even. Has it gotten better or worse? South Dakota sports media coverage. I would tell you, I'm a part of this. I go back old school, radio, play-by-play. We never streamed. Now we stream. Now we provide play-by-play on streaming video. I mean, so there's all of these advancements. Is it better or worse? Okay, question of the day. Answer that for me if you would. 605-720-1067 on the Barons-Wilson text line. Is media coverage of South Dakota sports gotten better or worse in the last 10 years? Give me your read. Better, it's instant, it's digital. Worse, less total coverage. What do you say? 605-720-1067. Back with Brian Noe as we get the Monday show going next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence, go with trust, go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
Hey, Sioux Falls sports fans, there's a great new sports bar in Sioux Falls, Boston's Restaurant and Sports Bar on West Russell Street in the Ramada Water Park Hotel. If you want to watch games, UFC, they've got it, wall-to-wall TVs, and the best part, great food. Gourmet pizza at Boston's, tons of wing options, great burgers, and a lot more. Bring the family, bring the team, bring your crew to the new Boston's Restaurant and Sports Bar in Sioux Falls on West Russell Street. Plus, you can order online for lunch or dinner. Just go to bostons.com.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Chance for storms this afternoon, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Daytime highs approaching 70, winds out of the north 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected tonight, slight chance of rain showers, lows level off around 46. High temperatures reach up to 66. Tomorrow, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 56 degrees.
Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet buys cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at rapidchevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
Hey golfers, have you experienced Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club? Golf Digest ranked Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club the #1 public course in South Dakota. Off Exit 17 in Spearfish, Elkhorn Ridge offers a golfing experience second to none. Play their 18-hole championship layout with your buddies. Stop into Miller Creek Pub for some drinks, or bring the family out for lunch and try out the new putting green right below Miller Creek Pub. Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club has it all. Book your next tee time at elkhornridgeresort.com.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show on a Monday. Welcome in South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio. Great guest lineup tonight from Alex Heinert to James Merilatt in Denver to Zach Borg, Dakota News Now, and of course Brian Noe getting us going on a Monday. Fox Sports Radio's Brian Noe, host of Countdown. I want to get Brian Noe's read on how good of a matchup is this NBA Finals matchup. Is he going to be part of the national media that berates the matchup of OKC and Indiana? Let's get him. Brian Noe on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline here on the Nate Brown Show. Brian, welcome in. How are you?
I'm good, Nate Brown. Always great to talk sports with you and life and, hypotheses that we might have. We cover everything over here, so it's always great to be with you, buddy.
We do, and I just served it up for you. Excitement level, Pacers, OKC. I'm a huge basketball fan, so I'm in on the NBA Finals no matter what. I think there's some good basketball here. They play hard, defensive intensity, team basketball. Some good players, Halliburton, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm in on this, but I can hear the national media saying, oh, the ratings are going to be bad. There should have been a Boston. There should have been a New York. What do you say?
I am a positive man, as you might know, Nate. I look at the glass half full a lot of times, except when it comes to Purdy being overpaid. But that's another story for another day. I'm in on this final series, Nate. You're not going to hear me bemoaning it. Yeah, the ratings aren't going to be great because of the markets. We all understand if it were the Knicks, the ratings would be way better. We get that. But you don't have to let that steal your basketball joy. I'm going to watch the finals regardless of who's in it. And I really don't care what the ratings are. That's not going to change my approach to watching or not watching. So I'm not going to be banging the drum of, these teams and, these ratings. I'm just going to watch the basketball series, see how it plays out. There are a lot of things to look forward to in terms of basketball matchups. Both teams are young, athletic, deep teams. I think that the Pacers are up against it, so I hope we get a good series. But in terms of the matchup, no, I'm not going to be a Debbie Downer as far as that goes.
How do you characterize Tyrese Halliburton? Big star or not?
Tyrese Halliburton, I would characterize him, he is like the player version of the Boston Celtics. And what I mean by that is he has the talent, if you happen to be betting against him, to make you look like an idiot. But he also has the inconsistency where if you're backing him, he can also no-show and make you look like an idiot. It's just like the Boston Celtics as a team, because there are a lot of times you'll back them and they just don't have it that night. And there are other times you're like, man, I'm going to fade them. And then they show you how talented they are and they make you look bad. I think that's what Tyrese Halliburton is. He's kind of like the player version of the Celtics and their inconsistencies. So, Tyrese is a very talented player. At times, he's aggressive and looks for his own shots. Other times, it's like, this is really not a shooting night for me. I'm just going to pass all night long. And you're like, why isn't this guy more consistently aggressive? So he can be frustrating at times. He is very talented, but long story short, Nate, he's a mixture. He's like he's the Forrest Gump of basketball. He's the box of chocolates, and you don't know what you're going to get from night to night. That's really what he is.
Brian Noe joining us, Fox Sports Radio's host of Countdown. Find him on Twitter at The Noe Show, and Brian's in tonight on Fox Sports Radio on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Is this overall good for the NBA to have the fresh teams. I understand the rating side, but I'm talking parity. A lot of times we've had these dynasty runs. Now we had quite the fresh approach here with, man, nobody could rig this thing. Pacers, OKC making it. Nobody really saw it coming.
I think it's good, Nate. I can understand the other side of it, but my side, let's just start with personal preference. I would much rather have parity. I'll put it this way, when you have a 7th champion for a 7th straight year, we've never had that in the history of the NBA. 7 different champions over a 7-year span. With whoever wins, the Pacers or the Thunder, we're going to get that this season. So I think that's interesting. I'd much rather have this NBA. And think of these last 7 years. Like, what if Giannis still didn't have a championship? What if Jokic still didn't have a championship? Those guys are multiple MVP winners, and they're ringless? That's all we would talk about is, they still don't have rings, blah, blah, blah. That'd be nauseating. Imagine if LeBron didn't have a ring with the Lakers. That might please a lot of people, but that conversation would get old real fast, too. So Kawhi never won one with the Raptors. Like, imagine if there's a dynasty and all these individual championships never took place from all these teams. I just wasn't interested in, hey, wake me up when it's Warriors and Cavs for the 4th straight year. That just was not compelling basketball to me. I don't think Kevin Durant going to a 73-win team is interesting. I think this NBA is, and you can give me the arguments about the ratings, and yeah, there's a downside to parity for sure. But I prefer it, and I think the NBA does too. Otherwise, Nate, they wouldn't have adjusted the CBA. They wouldn't have all these penalties for the second apron of the luxury tax. They wouldn't penalize teams who are trying to get 2 or 3 superstars and load up that way. They wouldn't have penalized teams. They would have been like, yeah, go for it. Do it. We love dynasties. They did the opposite, so I think they want parity as well.
But do you think this is the start of an OKC run? Do you think this is a run or just a one good year?
I think it's absolutely the makings of a run. I think they have all the potential in the world to become a dynasty. I see them winning the finals this year, and I really don't see them slowing down, Nate. Think about how young their nucleus is. Think how much firepower they have. They have 20 picks over the next 5 years. You know, this team this season, including the playoffs, is 80-18. They went 29-1 against the East. You know, like, this team is nasty. They have the best point differential this season of any team in the history of the NBA. They won by an average of almost 13 points per night. Think about that. You lose some games. You win some games by 2 or 3 points. That hurts your average. You win a game by 2. You got to win the next one by, 24 to hit your average or whatever it is? Like that. To win games on average by 13 points is insanity. So, yeah, I think this has all the makings of a dynastic run by the OKC Thunder.
Brian Noe tonight, couple more. I'll let him run. Previewing the NBA Finals Game 1 Thursday. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's the MVP. Do you think he's like the real deal MVP? He could win this multiple times.
Absolutely, I do. Yeah, he's a pure scorer. He's a good defender. And it's funny, it's a little bit of throwback basketball because he doesn't just jack up 3 after 3. And I'm not bemoaning that, Nate. You know, I get it. The NBA has evolved. I don't think, like side rant, I don't think that a missed 3-point shot is automatically bad entertainment. You know, like there are crazy rebound putbacks. It fuels fast breaks. Like, I just don't look at a box score and say, one team shot 20%. That was a brutal game to watch. It isn't always like that. So I'm not Mr. Anti-3-point shot, just to make that clear. But SGA, he doesn't shoot a ton of threes. He's more of a mid-range guy. I think the criticisms are stupid that he's the free throw merchant and draws contact and draws fouls. It's like, bro, if he can do that, why wouldn't he? Like, let me get this straight. He's really good at getting to the free throw line, but it's not your cup of tea entertainment-wise, so he should just stop doing that. That makes no sense. I don't get all the criticisms. It's like crying about Floyd Mayweather Jr. not being a knockout artist.
Well, here's the
thing. It's like the goal is to win, not to knock the other guy out. So I don't get the criticisms as far as SGA goes, Nate.
Does he look like a soccer player sometimes, though? Oh, my gosh, I got killed. Oh.
Yeah, he does. Sometimes he does. And I get it. I understand how some people don't like that. And you don't have to like it, but it's like how far the criticisms go. It's like he's effective, and these chants of free throw merchant, and I just like these guys just being haters. There's no way you would hate this form of basketball if this was your guy on your team. You think Thunder fans hate that style of basketball, him getting to the free throw line and scoring points left and right? No way. You'd be fine with it too if it were your team. So I just think it's just a bunch of haters hating on SGA. If you're effective, keep going back to the well time and time again.
Okay, so you say OKC is going to win this series. How's it going to play out?
Yeah, I think OKC is just a better team, Nate, and I think they're going to eat on the glass. I think Chet Holmgren and Hartenstein are going to be big-time problems on the boards. You saw rebounding issues last series for the Pacers, and what's different between the Eastern Conference Finals and these finals for the Pacers, you look at what OKC does defensively. They are head and shoulders better defensively than the Knicks. And they're going to be able to turn the Pacers over. They're going to be able to put Lou Dort on Halliburton and kind of gum up the production over there, you know. Lou Dort is magnificent. You just say, hey, sick him, Lou, and he's like, got it, no problem. And I think Halliburton's going to have a much tougher test setting the table for others and scoring on his own. And he makes the show go. If you're able to slow down the engine, then you're going to slow down the team collectively. So I think that OKC wins it. I would say I'm hoping for 6. I could see 5 as well, but I don't see the Pacers winning more than 2 games in this series.
Youch. OKC in 5 or 6 from Brian Noe tonight. Fox Sports Radio national host. Listen to him right here on the weekends. Countdown, and find him on Twitter at The No Show. So you got OKC, and you love watching SGA drawing fouls Thursday night. I love it. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the time.
Always great to be with you, Nate. Hey, you can't knock productivity. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's correct.
That's why I knock Purdy, because there's a lack of productivity. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'll get out of your hair, Nate, but always great to hang with you, buddy.
I appreciate you. That for another day. We will get back to the Purdy scenario. Brian Noe tonight, getting us started. Fox Sports Radio, national host of Countdown, takes OKC in 5 or 6. There's a lot of Pacers doubters. I'm pulling Indiana, too. I like the underdog. I didn't want to go for OKC after they bounced the Wolves and the Nuggets. I'm not one of those guys. Like, are you one of those guys that if a team beats your team, then you want to see them win? I've never been that guy. Never been that. Oh, well, but they beat the Wolves, so it'd be nice if they won because then, you know, they beat us and then we lost the NBA champs anyway. So I'm never that guy. By the way, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, MVP. I mean, nice season, but I'll still go down on that hill that it's Nikola Jokic is the best player and had even the best numbers. Jokic is still the best player with the best numbers. Let's see here. We're going to go to Denver next. James Merilatt waiting in the wings. He's with DenverSports.com, part of 104.3 The Fan. So Deion Sanders talked over the weekend about Shedeur for the first time since the NFL draft drop. Deion saying one thing. What do you say about this? James Merilatt covering it. DenverSports.com next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people, from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale is on now. Get $1,200 off every door, every window, plus pay months. Get an extra 5% off purchase on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
McPherson Auction Company. Monday, the 2nd of June, we're closing on an online-only auction on a Meade County liquor license. Now, this is a rare and unique opportunity for you to purchase a Meade County liquor license at public auction. This is the only county license available at this time. You still have time to activate it for the 85th Sturgis Rally. For more details and to bid and buy on the Meade County, South Dakota liquor license, go to McPhersonAuction.com.
Ever dreamed of building something amazing? Builders First Source in Rapid City, Spearfish, and Hot Springs is your go-to building materials partner. Whether you're building new or giving new life to an old space, we provide step-by-step guidance from drafting and cabinetry design to lifelike visualization and top-quality materials. It's your vision, and we're here to make it real. Visit BLDR.com. Builders First Source.
Multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty, and they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying a home or real estate in the Black Hills? Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home? I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Oh, good stuff on a Monday. Don't you know that? The Nate Brown Show is live, Fox Sports Radio. Thanks for being here. South Dakota Sports Talk Show from South Dakota to the country. Try and get you guests across the country on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Let's go to Denver, a place I've kept my eyes on here because the Colorado Rockies are stuck on 9 wins. 9-50. They have a game here tonight. Can they beat the mighty Marlins? I mean, this is amazing. James Merilatt's in Denver. He covers the Denver sports scene. Find him at denversports.com. That's the place, denversports.com. James Merilatt on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. James, good to have you. How are you?
I'm great, Nate. I appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate you. So this is a story nationally, and people are saying, okay, it was going to be a bad season for the Rockies. Now it is the worst start ever, 9-50. What are people saying in Denver about this? Because you guys are in the sports business. How do you cover this thing? What's the angle?
Well, it's actually in terms of us covering them and talking about it. The fact that they're this bad actually gets them more attention because it's fascinating. It's interesting. It's historical. It's something every night. If they were 19-40. We just wouldn't talk about them at all. But when they're breaking records that go back to the 19th century, when you're talking about they're the worst team since the Cleveland Spiders, and they're doing something that has never happened since baseball first started in 1871, it actually is interesting. It actually is something that people are talking about. It actually is something where you're kind of scoreboard watching. And I told some people today I haven't rooted for the Mets as much as I did yesterday since 1986. I wanted the Rockies to get to 50 losses before they got to 10 wins, because if you're going to be bad, be as bad as possible, and hopefully they hit a rock bottom where something changes. Either the Montforts sell the team, they decide, hey, we can't just continue to promote from within like we have for 26 years. We actually need to bring in some fresh thinking and a fresh approach. And I think they have to be historically bad for that to have any chance of happening.
What's the passion like, do you think, within the organization? It's a lot of people that are familiar with each other, family members, long-time relationships. I'm looking into this going, I don't know who upsets this apple cart. How does this get handled when it's this bad? What are they saying inside there, do you think?
Well, it very much is a group where it's an organization where groupthink has set in, right? It's, Dick Monfort wants to be around people that he likes and wants to work with people who are agreeable and wants to work with people who, are non-confrontational. Sometimes you need somebody in the group who's willing to say, hey, I think we're heading the wrong direction here, and they just don't seem to have that. It's a bunch of either yes men or like-minded people. I think they want to win. I don't think Dick Monfort has a desire to lose. I think he wants to win. I just don't think he has any clue how to win. He's also not cheap, right? Like, he gets that reputation around town, and it's a bit unfair. I mean, they're usually middle of the pack in terms of payroll in Major League Baseball. If you look at last year in terms of a percentage of revenue, their payroll was actually higher percentage than the Yankees or the Dodgers. So they spend money. They just don't know how to spend it. I mean, if you want a good laugh, look at their top 10 highest paid guys, and it's a bunch of players hitting in the 100s. It's a bunch of pitchers that are 0-7, 1-6, ERA is up over 7. Like, there's not a good player in the bunch. That's their problem. They just spend money. Chris Bryant is the prime example, on a bunch of guys who just can't play, and it's turned into a complete mess. But I think they look at it, and at the end of the day, they look at the bottom line, and it's a beautiful ballpark. Denver is a city with a lot of transplants. You get a lot of people. You go down to a game, and it's Phillies fans, it's Padres fans, it's Yankees fans. It's a bunch of teams that you don't even have to think it would be them, right? Like, the Cubs roll into town. They actually sell old-style beer at the concession stand because that's a Chicago beer. They changed the beer for the opposing fans. That tells you how they think. They don't care who's in the ballpark as long as they're buying tickets and buying beer.
I'll come down and watch my Cubbies, okay, as long as they got old-style Chicago dogs. I'll take that. You tell me, James, you say it like it is. Can the Rockies be a real team in the NL West? It feels like people have said, this is past. The Dodgers, the Giants, the Padres, they own it. Can the Rockies be a real team again?
Not as either they're currently owned or baseball's currently structured. No. I mean, they're gonna get outspent by those teams every single year. So if you don't have as high a payroll, then you got to be a little bit smarter, a little bit more savvy. You got to have a different plan. You got to zig when everybody else is zagging. They don't have that kind of thought process. The other amazing thing is, they've been to the postseason 5 times, I believe, off the top of my head. It's always been as a wild card. They've never won the National League West, not once, and they came into existence in 1993. Since then, the Atlanta Braves, who are now in the National League East, have won a National League West title. So it's every other team in the division has: San Diego, San Francisco, LA, Arizona, and the Atlanta Braves. They've all won the National League West, and the Rockies have won 0. So I don't know that they've ever been a real team in the division, to be honest with you. It's been a joke a lot more seasons than it's been a success, and this year is just the ultimate joke.
James Merilatt from Denver, denversports.com for the coverage. Find him on Twitter at James Merilatt. But what happened to the heyday, man? I remember the heyday. I loved watching the Blake Street Bombers, Galarraga, Bichette, Larry Walker. I mean, I know that was a while ago, a little while ago. But then they had some more good players, Holiday, Tulowitzki, Arenado. What happened here?
Well, I mean, it was ultimately a team that was very entertaining. They hit a lot of home runs. You had a lot of softball scores at Coors Field, and then it was a team that didn't translate to the road, right? You went to a place where the ball didn't carry as well, and it just turned into something where they had this discrepancy between home and road that was just so out of whack that they tried to fix it. They brought in the humidor. That eliminated some of the runs that were scored here, made it a little bit easier for opposing pitchers to come in here. I think it's something that's actually backfired. In 2017, 2018, they had some good teams. They had Nolan Arenado on the team, arguably the best player in baseball during those couple of seasons. They've just made bad decisions. I mean, they tried to, after 2018, they spent money. They had the most expensive bullpen in the history of baseball, and it was three guys that just were a disaster. They couldn't pitch. They spent money on guys like Daniel Murphy, Ian Desmond, players that just didn't live up to their contracts. So, they've always been top heavy in terms of payroll. And when you do that, those players have to perform well because the median or mean or mode or whatever is right in the middle, basically half the roster every year is guys making the league minimum. So those top players have to perform. Started in 2019 when 5 out of the top 7 didn't play very well. Now 10 out of the top 10 haven't done anything. There's nobody to pick up the slack. It's essentially a bunch of AA and AAA guys in any other organization that are playing every day and happen to try and carry the load, and they just can't. So it's long answer to they've just made very bad decisions. They either need to not be so top-heavy and spread that out a little bit, which would be a change in thinking, or they need to have a better batting average, pardon the pun, in terms of who they're spending money on, and they've been abysmal for the last 6 or 7 years in that front.
Rockies are 9-50. They're playing the Marlins tonight. Let's see, could this be a win? And then what's your guess on season win total? Do you have one?
It seems to me every time they go down to Miami, some pitcher we've never heard of looks like, Cy Young reincarnated and throws a 2-hit shutout. So that's what I'm expecting, especially the way this season's going. I don't think they're going to be this bad all season long, even though I have nothing other than hope to base that on. I think they probably get to 40, but I think this team is going to be 120 losses or more. I don't know how they're going to escape that at this point.
I would be 40 and 122, right in there. Youch.
Yep. And that's going, quick math, that's going 31 and 72 from here on out. That's picking up the pace a lot.
That is. Okay, you're being generous tonight. Last one for James Merilatt, denversports.com for the coverage. We're talking Rockies. They're historically the worst team to start here at 9-50. On the college/NFL side, Deion talked on the podcast with Asante Samuel about Shedeur. It's the first time Deion's talked about the drop in the draft. He called the reporting that was out there foolish, and he said Shedeur Sanders not showing up for a meeting, unprepared, showing up unprepared. Come on now. And there was more, but he calls out the reports. Do you think this is smart, Deion going to bat?
I don't know if it's smart, but, we're always critical, especially in this business and fans. We get tired of people who just give us, the media-trained, say nothing answers. Come on, give us the truth. And then when somebody gives us the truth, we criticize them for not giving us the canned answer. Here's what I think is interesting, right? All those stories came out the weekend of the draft, and people were saying, yelling from the mountaintop, hey, it's not a conspiracy. They didn't collude. This was because of this, and this. Okay. Then Deion comes out on this podcast and says what he did, and now everybody's saying this is why teams didn't draft Shedeur, because they were afraid of what Deion was going to say. Well, you didn't say that back in late April, so now the story has changed. So that tells me what Deion said yesterday was completely true. All those people who said it, that carry the water for the NFL, they didn't come out and say when Deion went on there and said he's just wrong. He's just wrong that these stories are 100% true. They're now pointing the finger at Deion, which tells me, all right, well, they're changing their story. That means Deion was right.
Very interesting take. James Merilatt on tonight from 104.3 The Fan. It is denversports.com. James, always great. Thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me, Nate. I enjoy it.
Appreciate your time. Talking Rockies and a little bit of Deion Shedeur. I thought that was interesting take on the podcast from Deion. denversports.com senior editor James Merilatt tonight from Denver, Colorado. That's what Deion's saying. So James is saying, hey, the NFL team's changing their stories. Because Deion said on the podcast, come on, this stuff's foolish, saying that Shedeur walked into a meeting unprepared. He said, when you sit up there and say something like he went into a meeting unprepared, He said, Shedeur Sanders, who's had 6 different offensive coordinator and leveled up every time we brought somebody new in, and you're going to tell me he was unprepared? He's got to go into a meeting with headphones on? Come on now. That's Dion over the weekend on the Asante Samuel podcast. And the reason I ask, is that smart? This is my read on it. I don't think Dion needs to say stuff anymore. Whether he wants to keep going to battle, maybe he's playing. He's a master at marketing. So he's smarter than me on the marketing side, maybe. I just think Dion's got to let stuff go. Let it go now. Shedeur's got to make inroads, win the locker room, win his teammates in Cleveland, his coaching staff. He doesn't need Dion saying stuff on a podcast, whether it's good or bad. So if I'm saying, Dion, you got to take a breather, to me, whether he's sticking up for me or not. All right, let's take a look at our question of the day here. If you haven't heard it, South Dakota sports media coverage, is it better or worse in the last 10 years? I'm talking South Dakota sports coverage across the board. How do you consume it? Is it good? Is there a lot of coverage? Is it better or worse over the last 10 years? 605-720-1067 is the text line. We'll take a look at the question of the day next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Save big on your next project right now at Menards. From mold and mildew to stains and hard-to-stick surfaces, preparing your paint project has never been easier than with Bullseye 123. Zinsser Bullseye 123 Primer is an all-purpose, high-performance, water-based primer for interior and exterior residential, commercial, and industrial applications. Save big on Bullseye 123 Primer. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Yeah, can I get the taco burger value combo? That's a value? I know it's a taco and a burger, but come on. Yeah, I can find a better value right across the street. No, not at the bait shop, at the gas station. I can get a South Dakota Lottery scratch game for as little as $1. You can actually win thousands of dollars. Almost enough to eat here.
Good fun. Must be 18 to play. Please play responsibly.
Hey sports fans, it's Rob from the Firehouse Skybox. We are Rapid City's premier sports bar with everything you want for the best game watching experience. Bring your crew and take in the action while enjoying our Firehouse craft beers, specialty cocktails, and a great menu of Firehouse burgers, nachos, and more. We have every game, every night on our 35 big screens, and there's not a bad seat in the house. Come and watch your favorite team at the #1 place for sports, the Skybox, right above the Firehouse, Main Street, downtown Rapid City.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Slight chance of rain showers tonight, otherwise cloudy skies. Lows around 46. Winds out of the north 10 to 15 miles per hour. A mix of clouds and sun tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 66. Slight chance of rain showers tomorrow night. Lows dip down to about 48. Partly cloudy skies. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 54 degrees.
Are you thinking about starting or expanding a business? At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our dedicated business lending team focuses on understanding our members' unique needs and truly wants to help them succeed. From the loans to get your business off the ground to the accounts to keep it running, we offer unique products with your business's best interest in mind. Learn more at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818. BHFCU is a member-owned, not-for-profit.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear, Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio, Monday edition. Let's take a look at what's on tap tonight, brought to you by the new Campfire Bar, your home for live sports and 20 local brews on tap tonight at the new Campfire Bar, Mr. Liquor 2 off Catron Boulevard. South Dakota's best and biggest liquor store with selection unlike any other. Check out the Campfire Bar tonight. 20 local brews on tap, and the NBA Finals starting on Thursday at the new Campfire Bar, Mr. Liquor 2 off Catron Boulevard. What's on tap tonight on the Nate Brown Show? Alex Heinert's in, play-by-play man, great South Dakota sports broadcaster. He's covered a lot now. He's covering some pro soccer and stuff like this, but he just did the state track meet. We'll get to Alex Heinert coming up. Zach Borg's in tonight, sports anchor, Dakota News Now. That's what's on tap coming up. Speaking of South Dakota sports media members, Zach Borg, I'm going to ask him this question. Alex Heinert, I'll ask him as well. Media, we can be biased, right? So I thought I'd take a look here. Sports media coverage in South Dakota has changed with everything. And I got this idea as I was taking a look at state track, and there was some really good coverage of it. But I also feel like there's some missing pieces when it comes to high school sports coverage in general, just year-round. I just feel like we used to have a lot of coverage of this game and that game and various entities there. I mentioned that I used to do radio play-by-play. That's how I started out. And there was 5 radio stations at a high school basketball game I'd show up to. I mean, it was just that big. Now, you're lucky if people are even showing up because, like, well, the school has the video stream, and so we call it good. And so there's many reasons for the traditional media. I think traditional media coverage has gotten worse over the last 10 years. And so I asked the question of the day tonight, if you can answer it for me. Has media coverage of South Dakota sports gotten better or worse in the last 10 years? You be honest. Be honest now, because the better part of the side, I think people would say, well, there's new media, there's social media coverage. I mean, we do a lot of that ourselves. A lot of coverage on social media, breaking news on social media, stuff like that reaches out quickly. So news gets out quicker and probably reaches a lot of people, as in traditional sense, the newspaper side, you'd have to, you could reach them with the Argus Leader. You can reach them with the Rapid City Journal. And I know that those cuts over the past 10 years have just dismantled that traditional media coverage. Has the new media taken its place? That's our question of the day. Let's take a look at the poll results tonight. If you want to answer, it's 605-720-1067. Interested in your take on the question of the day. Has media coverage, I'm talking of South Dakota sports, gotten better or worse in the last 10 years? 59% of the audience is voting better because it's digital and it's instant. Yes, I understand that. I'm watching the state track meet. I'm seeing all this coverage. It's right here on my phone. I mean, it's boom. It's like I'm there. And we never used to have that. So I think people say, well, that's just boom. It's so instant. It's so good. It's right here. I could see a record meet right here and watch it. 41% of you are saying media coverage in the past 10 years has gotten worse. There's less total coverage. Listener reaction from Garrett. What is being done is better. The streaming coverage is really good. Disappointing part is the number of outlets is down, but what is being done is very good. What is being done is very good. Yeah, I would say that, and I think you look at the traditional sense, Newspaper sports departments have just been gutted. I mean, they've been gutted. And you're starting to look at, gone are those days of huge newspaper coverage of sports. Gone are those days. I mean, the TV guys are running. I'll ask Zach Board about this. They're doing good stuff there. I've seen a lot of good sports reports. Dakota News Now and some of these. They're doing good coverage there. But these guys are running. It's 1-2 guys. And so it's interesting. How would I answer that? I'm still gonna say traditionally the coverage, I think the magnitude of the coverage is worse. The instant part of the coverage, the new media, the social media coverage, where you can see something, put it out there, break the news, and it hits people quickly, that's very beneficial. And I don't understand, some of the newspapers aren't even doing their social media. So some of the newspaper sports departments here, they'll write something or they'll cover a story. They won't do it on social media. I'm lost. I don't get that one. So we got to have people come to the newspaper site. I understand it. You just put a link to your story on your site. They're not even promoting. I saw a sports department hasn't done a tweet for a year. It's a newspaper sports department. They haven't done a tweet for a year. I'm lost on that. Let's see here. Listener text. Coverage is totally worse. I honestly don't know why the Argus has a sports page. Listener text. There's less coverage of high school sports. The Journal barely covers any local sports. Sometimes they're 2 days behind. Another one. Listener text. Coverage by the media of South Dakota high school sports is way less thorough. Way less thorough. So it's interesting. I've done this show now I've done shows over the years, but this show in South Dakota since 2017, dating back to 2017, and Western South Dakota never really had, I don't think they had a daily sports show, right? Until 2017. So we tried filling that void a little bit, and then East River lost some of their daily shows. So we're trying to fill that void a little bit. All right, you vote on that. 605-720-1067 is media coverage of South Dakota sports. Do you think it's better today or worse over the past 10 years? Let's get into the second hour with this story. Now, this one's interesting to me. I tried going on yesterday. This was something I had on my calendar and my phone. I said, okay, I'm going to check this out yesterday. And I am just baffled why this isn't covered. I can't buy this. I can't get it. I can't find it. It's one of the biggest names in sports, and it's non-existent. I'm trying to find this stuff. What's the real story with why I couldn't do what I wanted to do yesterday? Next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Ace, your backyard is right in our backyard. So when you need to feed your grass, remove the weeds, or wrangle those leaves, go to the best place that delivers on top brands like Ego, Toro, and Steel. No warehouse store can match the convenience of your locally owned neighborhood Ace. So stop on by. You can also order online for curbside pickup or get what you need delivered. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their lawn care. At participating stores.
Mr. Liquor 2 would like to thank the thousands of customers who've purchased spirits in their new location off Catron since they opened in mid-November. Join the crowd who's discovered the unmatched selection of spirits, beers, and wines. Order from their 20 draft beers in the adjoining Campfire Bar and enjoy it while you shop. Plus, keep up to date on in-store beverage tastings and food truck appearances on the Mr. Liquor Facebook page. Thank you again for your business from the new Mr. Liquor 2 off Catron next to Walmart or their original location on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Have you ever really thought about how important your front door, and every entry door into your home for that matter, really is? That door provides security for your family and so much more. The wait is over. Ensemble Doors by Renewal by Andersen have arrived. These awesome secure doors have timeless style, elegant features. They can be customized countless ways with the legendary quality of Renewal by Andersen. Right now, Renewal by Andersen is offering an incredible value on Ensemble entry doors. You get 20% off every Ensemble entry door. No money down, no interest, no payments for 12 months. No payments for a year. Ensemble entry doors by Renewal by Andersen are just so much better. They're built with the best quality materials, including Renewal by Andersen's exclusive Fibrex, which has been tested to deliver enhanced security, certified performance, and lasting beauty. Please visit RBARapidCity.com now. That's RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate. Ensemble entry doors, the wait is over.
One more time.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
Welcome back in. Monday edition of the program, starting the second hour tonight. Thanks for being here on your drive home. The Nate Brown Show is live, Fox Sports Radio. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. It's always a great day in South Dakota. Let's get going. Two great guests on the South Dakota sports scene joining us this hour. Alex Heinert, excellent play-by-play man. He's covered a lot of sports over the years. Alex Heinert's in tonight. He covered state track, Howard Wood over the weekend. Alex Heinert's on the way. We'll go to Dakota News Now. Sports anchor Zach Borg. Always like to have Zach on. He is in tonight as well. You want to be a part of the program, 605-720-1067. That's the Pizza Ranch studio hotline. 605-720-1067, and you've got the Behrens-Wilson text line. Answer the question of the day. Participate there. 605-720-1067. Those are the numbers. Behrens-Wilson text line for you. Let's get an update on the question of the day. Very interesting answers coming in on this. What do you think? Has media coverage of South Dakota sports gotten better or worse in the last 10 years? Better or worse in the last 10 years? I'm going to vote. I mean, in some ways, I said in some ways better. See how I ride that line? You can't ride that line. I'm not supposed to ride the line. In some ways, better. Okay. I like the delivery. I like that I'm able to watch games, for example, on a Friday football night where you used to not be able to see any of this. You just have to see the score, get an update on, Friday night hike, whatever, Sports Zone. You'd have to get all that. So the delivery is better. You can get access to a lot of stuff, high school sports specifically. But I will say I feel like the coverage overall, traditional media outlets, traditionally, I think the coverage has gone down, and not due to the people working the deal, not due to the sports guys. It's due to the huge companies that have said, let's cut this sports show. Let's cut this sports department. Let's see how much one guy can do. And I think that's been just a killer from a traditional media standpoint. Let's update the poll if you want to answer that. What do you say? I am a little surprised by the result, though. 59% voting on Twitter right now. It's gotten better. It's instant and digital. right on your phone. 59% say the media coverage of South Dakota sports in particular has gotten better. 41% worse. There is less total coverage. Quite a few votes. Send yours in on the text line. I'd like to see what you have to say. Okay, here's something before I get to our next guest. So there's something going on here, and I'm never a huge conspiracy guy. What do you mean? You've heard my conspiracy theories. I'm never a huge conspiracy guy. And I do have to say, there's something going on here, and I don't know exactly what it is. So here's my day yesterday, okay? Outside of mowing the lawn and all that exciting stuff that a middle-aged man gets to do. But here's my day. So yesterday, the Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever shoes were supposed to come out. This isn't a made-up thing on the Nate Brown Show. I don't make stuff up. Caitlin Clark, one of the number one names in sports. One of the number one, I don't care if it's female, male, one of the number one names in sports. The Caitlin Clark shoes, Indiana Fever version, were supposed to come out from Nike yesterday. So I'm doing research. I have basketball-playing daughter, and well, we're going to see if we can check these out. Let's just put it that way, okay? I hadn't locked it in, but we're going to see if we can check these out. I'm doing the research. Where do I find these? How can I get them? It's one of the hardest things to find in sports in America. Why would you make it hard for somebody to buy Caitlin Clark shoes? And so hang with me here. There's something going on here. I don't know what it is with Nike. Nike has signed Caitlin Clark. They have signed Caitlin Clark like a year ago to a big shoe deal. I mean, she's got one of the biggest endorsement deals you've seen. I think the biggest for a female ever. And so we're a year into this thing, and I can't even get Nike Caitlin Clark shoes. I go to the thing yesterday. Oh, they're going to come out, these Indiana Fever version of Caitlin Clark shoes, and you can buy these. So you tell me, guys, you're running Nike. Why would you not be making so many of these and putting these out here? Do you know how fast these would go? Do you know these would go like wildfire? I mean, parents and everybody across the board, they would buy these shoes up like crazy. And so I don't know exactly what's happening. And I'm not just the only guy. I'm going, okay, I was going to check this out, and I can't find them. I downloaded the Sneakers app. That's Nike's app, I guess, where you can find all the shoes that they have. It's not even listed. I'm searching Caitlin Clark, Kobe, Indiana Fever, the shoes. Where are they? And then I get random, make-believe shoes that are on eBay. It's like, hey, you can buy these for $3,000. oh, sure thing. I'll send you the payment in the mail. Well, better yet, let me Venmo you for those $3,000 Caitlin Clark shoes that she's got on eBay. Okay, so there's something not right with Nike's approach. You can't get anything Caitlin Clark. There's all these other players you can get. NBA signature shoes are all over the place. They got all sorts of shoes. I mean, it's not just one LeBron James. I mean, they got multiple players with shoes. Luka, Jason Tatum, Wembanyama. They got all these shoes. And I can't find one of the number one names in sports right now. You couldn't get much hotter. And Nike's sitting here wondering, geez, when should we put out the Caitlin shoes? And then when we put out the first version of Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever shoes, let's make it impossible to get for everybody in the country. So you tell me what's happening. I mean, from a sports marketing side, which I've done over my years, makes absolutely zero sense. Do I know how to make shoes? I do not. Do I know exactly the process that goes into making the shoes? I don't. It's been a year with the Caitlin Clark deal with Nike. And you can buy like 3 shirts on the Nike website. That's it. You can get a jersey. You can get a couple of different shirts. So you tell me, one of the hottest names in sports, this would be like sitting on the Michael Jordan shoes and just be like, let's wait a year, and then the first version that comes out, let's not really promote it. Do you guys see commercials about it? Do you see promotion about it? It's zero. So I don't dive into conspiracy theories, but there's something not right. Nike, Caitlin Clark, are they not wanting to get into the mess of, well, if you like Caitlin Clark, then there's some people that won't like you. But if you go if you're not heavy enough, in this way, then this group won't like you, and that group won't like you. I don't know if it's polarization. I don't know, but I think Caitlin Clark is really, really popular, and the shoes would fly off the shelves. I go to buy, or look for them, maybe buy them yesterday. You can't even find them. So stay tuned, because they keep saying, well, they're coming out June 1st, and then there's going to be another version in October. Nike's playing this weirdly. One of the most bizarre things. They've got a deal signed, and Caitlin Clark is nowhere to be found. No shoes, not much promotion. It is bizarre. Back with Zach Borg, Dakota News Now, live from Sioux Falls next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Nobody loves a deal more than Dad, so make him proud and shop Fleet Farm for his Father's Day gifts at the best prices guaranteed. Like a Charbroil 3-burner gas grill for just $149.99. Or how about a Craftsman V20 half-inch cordless drill driver kit for $49. And whether he's grilling or drilling, help him look good with Carhartt Force Tees for 25% off. For more of the hottest Father's Day deals, stop by your local Fleet Farm or check out our latest weekly ad at fleetfarm.com.
Whiter wheat, classic or old-fashioned, with or without sesame seed. With so many choices, selecting the right bun for your perfectly grilled burgers, hot dogs, and brats can seem overwhelming. Relax. The bakers at Village Hearth have made your choice easy. With state-of-the-art bakeries and facilities throughout the Midwest, our buns are baked and delivered by folks just like you. So when you see the familiar red Village Hearth logo on the package, you'll be selecting the freshest, most flavorful buns available. Village Hearth buns, baked locally, delivered fresh daily.
If you want the peace of mind that your next pre-owned vehicle is the best it can be, you want Honda True, and you only find it at Danny Manholt Rushmore Honda. Our Honda certified pre-owned vehicles are thoroughly inspected and backed by 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage, up to 2 complimentary oil changes, 24/7 roadside assistance, inspection report, and 3-day exchange. You simply can't buy the wrong vehicle. Search our inventory at honda-true.com or see us at Denny Manholt Rushmore Honda.
Eating in Deadwood has so many options thanks to Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort. Wake up with the trusted taste of Starbucks or sit down to a full breakfast at Best Brews. Looking for lunch? Build a wonderfully fresh sandwich from Jersey Mike's. Grab some quick and cheesy goodness from Pizza Hut or pull up a chair in Patty O'Neill's Irish Pub. Need something a little more intimate for dinner? Well, Snitches is all the buzz with an evolving menu of chef-designed culinary creations. There's something for everyone to eat at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort, located on historic Main Street in Deadwood.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Slight chance of rain showers tonight, otherwise cloudy skies. Lows around 46. Winds out of the north 10 to 15 miles per hour. A mix of clouds and sun tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 66. Slight chance of rain showers tomorrow night. Lows dip down to about 48. Partly cloudy skies. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 54 degrees.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
Looking for a great place for a pregame meal that really satisfies? Or maybe you want a place to take your all-star after the game. Or you're looking for a place to enjoy a delicious meal while watching your favorite team on the big screen TV. Valley Sports Bar and Grill has all the bases covered for all those things and more. Top-notch, friendly, and attentive service. Wall-to-wall big screen TVs with all the big games. And the absolute best wings in Rapid City. Valley Sports Bar. Make it your place. 1865 Valley Drive, Rapid City.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
And welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. If you're looking for pre-owned in South Dakota, a reminder this hour driven by Summit Automotive Group. Start at summitautogrp.com. Car buying built around you at summitautogrp.com when it comes to pre-owned in South Dakota. South Dakota Sports Talk Show on Fox Sports Radio. I'm wondering why I couldn't even find Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever shoes yesterday. I mean, I started looking. I was trying to put some effort into this thing. I was looking. What do I got to look for these? In the dark alleys? What do I have to pick them up from Jimmy Lipper in the alley? Hey, only $500. No, I mean, you got to sell these things. What's Nike doing with Caitlin Clark's shoe? They signed her a year ago. They're non-existent. I got a listener text saying that Nike calls this self-limited supply to do it on purpose, and then they drive up the price. They make the product rare, and they drive up the price. Well, the price is already $200. I think it's bogus. Nike, they're not even promoting it. I couldn't even get them. There's something else going on here. Nike is not promoting Caitlin Clark. It might be the dumbest thing I've seen. All right, Zach Borg is on tonight. How about that? Dakota News Now. He's busy, man. He's covering state track this last weekend. State golf now. Zach, welcome in. How are you?
Yeah, doing good. Don't forget, we also got state softball starting on Thursday. So,
wow!
Kind of missed the days where it seemed like track was the end of it. But they moved. I remember it was a couple of years ago. They moved golf around so that it was after track, and now we have softball. So it's actually more than three, but it's 3 tournaments now in 10 days to wrap up the high school year.
You are getting after it. I have an interesting South Dakota sports media question I want to throw around with you. I saw your coverage of state track. I've said this. I think you guys have done a good job on the TV side, the visual product, highlights, and some feature stories and some of that stuff. Now, you do it also on social media. Like you say, hey, I'm here, I'm doing this. I think that's a benefit. I've seen some traditional media go away from, they're not doing social media, they don't put stuff out here, they don't put stuff out there. I don't know if that's the company telling them to don't do that. So I said, is South Dakota sports media coverage better or worse over the last 10 years? I think newspapers have been gutted. I think you guys on TV are running like it's you and Mark. I mean, you guys are running. I do think the instant on my phone, the coverage of, hey, I can see this video, I can see this race, I think that is better. But what's your answer to that?
It's kind of multifaceted. In places, it's better. In places, it's gotten worse, and that includes the TV end of it too. I mean, I think to answer your question, about doing the social media stuff, that's always kind of been, I think, a thing that's important to me. I think everybody's been the social media, even though it's been around now for God knows how long it's actually been around now. I mean, I remember Facebook came in when I was in high school, and we called it the Facebook. So, but it's just kind of the way the world is anymore, that you have to be a little more multimedia literate. You have to be, you can't really just be a TV guy anymore. You have to be able to do the on-air. You have to do the online stuff. I post my own web stories, and I kind of like that. I don't think I'm going to be getting a job at the newspaper or whatever, writing, maybe I could write a column if somebody wants me to, but, I like that, putting a little flair when I can in some of those stories. But it just kind of, it really puts you out there and kind of shows people where you're at and what you're doing. And aside from that, I kind of like showing just the relatability of it, interacting with, viewers and audience. And, I'm not one of those who looks at myself as, I'm this big, high and mighty TV guy, and I'm, my opinion's unassailable. It's like, I'm just another guy you could easily be chatting sports with at the bar. So, but, I think, digitally it's gotten better in some aspects, but, we've also, the things that have gutted newspapers, it's happened at the TV level too. I mean, there's not a whole lot of local ownership anymore. It's all corporate. There were a lot of, you look back 10 years ago, 20 years ago, there were a lot of 3-person sports departments in South Dakota. That's kind of not the case anymore. Obviously, Midco Sports had a lot of cuts to the point where they're basically only doing college now. So, it's hard because in some ways it's a lot better, but it's also getting a lot harder to keep putting out the content as well. So, and you don't really know which way it's going to go, because if you told me it was going to be this way 10 years ago, I couldn't have predicted this.
No, I've got you on that. I think you're right. I look at it and say the big companies have come in and said, hey, I don't think we need to have 5 people in a newspaper anymore in the sports department.
Yeah.
Let's see how much one guy can do. I mean, so it's not the guy's fault, but it's one person, two person trying to cover this team and that team. It's not workable.
Well, and it's weird, too, because you think, especially some of the newspapers, we've just kind of said over and over, well, why don't some of these, like I know it's, I don't want to speak, I got to be careful how I speak of some of these other, what are technically competitors, but this is nothing personal to anybody there. It's like, I know it's Gannett that owns the Argus. I've always kind of wondered, well, why don't they just sell them if they're going to strip them down this much, and yet somehow it profits them to just have that holding and completely strip it down, and yet it's hurting the region it hurts the region as much as, this isn't a cut, this isn't quite like Anchorman where we have the news team battle outside the studio. I mean, most of us are pretty friendly colleagues, and, in a lot of places I've worked, we used to go out for beers and stuff, and as well too. But, the more you lose, when you lose media entities, when they go away, when the Argus has to shutter so much of its staff, that's not good for a market. I mean, that overall, maybe that benefits, if one TV station shuts down, maybe that leads to more viewership for another, but that's bad for the viewers. That's, fewer stories from a purely sports standpoint. That's not even beginning to touch, news and the other really important things, though, by the way. But, from a sports standpoint, that's less coverage for the athletes, for the schools, less into different features, less voices. That's bad for the viewers. So competition, I think that's kind of the old capitalism way. Competition's good for a market, and we're losing. We've lost so much of that over the last, really since the pandemic. I think is obviously where you can really put a finger on it. But I think some of it was starting to creep in even before that.
Zach Borg joining us, Dakota News Now sports anchor. I asked the question of the day: is South Dakota sports media coverage better or worse over the last 10 years? 59% of my audience is voting it is better, digital and instant access. How much has that, do you think, taken over where people now consume, I'm going to look at whatever Zach Borg tweets out instead of maybe watching his sportscast at night?
Well, I think the best part about it, and the part that I really like, is, the old saying was when you did a sportscast back in the day, is, well, once it was over, it's on its way to Saturn. You're never going to replay it again unless you have a VCR, or, I guess VCR is really dated. Unless you had a DVR, you weren't going to see it again. The fact it's digital, the fact, it's, internet, we're on YouTube, we have so many different platforms. You can see it on your phone, you can replay it. I mean, these clips, these videos, whether they're happening instantly or whether you can have these for all time. I mean, now in some ways, maybe that's also hurt us too, but these clips can be saved forever. And, just the other day, I ran into it at the state track meet. I can't remember the kid's name. His name was Schmitz. He played at Elk Point Jefferson a couple of years ago. He had a buzzer beater at the state basketball tournament in Sioux Falls. And, not only did I use that video in our sportscast, I tweeted it out. I tagged ESPN. It ended up becoming one of their top 10, I think it was their number one play on top 10 plays, was his buzzer beater at the state tournament, and it happened to be the kid's birthday. Well, I mean, that's a clip he saved for the rest of his life. So, it's one of those things where it's twofold, where some of these clips can go national and go viral, as the kids like to say. But the other half of it is now, in addition to the fact you're getting them right away, I mean, you can save these things forever. I mean, whether it's the athlete who is doing it, the parents, the grandparents, whatever, whether you're the fan, or even if you're a content creator yourself, you can download it and kind of do your own thing. So I think that's the best part, is that, in the previous eras, you did a sportscast, and, if you didn't tune in at 10, it was gone, and you only saw it that one time. Now it's pretty much, you can get it on demand. And you can watch it live. And no matter where you are, you don't even have to be in your hometown. You can be on the other end of the world.
We had a listener actually to this show we put out the podcast of the show, right, Zach? So we do the show live, and we say, hey, if you can't catch it live, catch the podcast. It's all right there. And the listener said, why would you do that? I mean, you're taking away from the live show. And I said, we want you to listen to the show.
Exactly.
Either way. So it's interesting.
I mean, there are past times I had favorite radio shows that I wanted to listen to, but I was working. I couldn't. I would have, before the podcast era, I couldn't listen to it. So
right.
I was out of luck.
No.
That doesn't take away from your audience. There's a lot of people who just would come back and want to listen to it again.
There is a good part about the on-demand stuff. So sports coverage, I thought that was interesting. I think, to me, the traditional media, the magnitude of the coverage has gone down because the staffs have gone down, but the instant coverage, I can watch games on Friday Night Football that I've never been able to see. I can see it on social media. I think that stuff's been really expanding the coverage. Zach Borg, let me get your read on baseball. You just had the state high school baseball championships. This is a question I posed. Will high school baseball pass Legion baseball, speaking of, in the next 10 years? Legion's been the thing. High school baseball, if you were to tell me 10 years ago it would be this popular, I would have told you, oh, no way, it's just kind of a club thing that some people do. Now it's kind of going, what will we look like in 10 years? High school baseball's the thing in the country. What about in South Dakota, Legion or high school?
That's a really good question. And you're right. I mean, 10 years ago, Legion was so dominant in baseball, and the high school thing was definitely just, I don't want to say it was rinky-dink, but it was kind of like, really, what are we doing here?
Right,
it was,
right.
It was, I don't know if it's going to pass Legion and obviously I know it's a different setup in Rapid City because Post 22 is I've kind of always referred to Post 22. They seem like a minor league team.
Right, that's the brand.
Professional minor league team. Yeah,
yes.
That's the brand. And they're playing in March. So, although I know Stevens had a really good team and they almost won at state this year. So, but out here, they really flow pretty seamlessly from high school to Legion season. And, whereas I used to think, well, this is really hurting your Legion season because Post 22 gets that jump. We've seen it now, I think, over the last, I may be a little off on the stat, but I think over the last 8-9 years, Post 22 has won only 3 titles. Renner's won 3 titles. We're seeing that there isn't that advantage that we used to think maybe Post 22 had by being a Legion team that was playing those extra months. Now we're seeing it looks like it flows pretty seamlessly, and these baseball teams that played in the high school season are just as good, even though they're starting a little later in the Legion season. So, obviously, I'm sure the one everybody's wondering about was, well, will this ever get sanctioned?
Yeah,
I think that's the big money question because I don't think the way high school is set up. You still have guys who run track who play on, I think, the baseball team because it's set up now where that baseball tournament was the week before track, or if they play golf or whatever. I just don't think. I think they would have to play if it was sanctioned by SDHSA. I think they would have to play it after track, the same way softball is. So they would. There would have to be some headaches and some things to move around. I don't know. I still think Legion's going to be a thing around here. They seem to have a pretty good thing going right now. I just think the big question is, will it get sanctioned? Will it be a thing that can be free for athletes as opposed to a club sport? But they've got it. They've had that set up running really well. So who knows? I think you just, as much as we try to predict, I'm like, well, I couldn't predict this 10 years ago, so I might as well. And it went pretty well without me trying. So
here's the thing.
I have a feeling it'll go pretty well regardless.
Here's this thing. East River High School getting bigger and bigger. They transitioned to Legion, as you said, pretty seamless. West River High School has grown, but Legion still has the Post 22. We've been the program. If you think of baseball in South Dakota, you think of Post 22. That brand has been so strong. I don't see that going all of a sudden in 10 years. Oh, no, everybody at Post 22 is going to play high school now.
No, I don't think that's ever going away. But like I said, and there's also been, of course, the changes to the state format where they went with the seeding points. I think, to me, that's changed greatly when it kind of made Rapid City 22 kind of have to come east and play I remember the first year I saw them coming out and playing Harrisburg. It was just kind of odd. I'm like, wow, they're here, and Harrisburg beat them a couple times. It was actually the team that had Chase Mason on it, ironically enough, to tell you how long ago that now feels. But I totally agree. That Post 22 brand is iconic. That is, along with amateur baseball, that is what kind of people I would associate with South Dakota baseball in general.
Yeah.
But I think we've also seen that, you can have your cake and eat it too. Because, like I said, we've seen the East River Legion. If you'd said, a decade, again, go back to a decade ago, and I started in 2013, that it would be as even as it has been in terms of the state championships, and that Rapid City Post 22 wouldn't be winning the majority of these championships. If you said that 10 years ago, people would have thought, wow, something must have happened to Post 22.
Yeah,
I know they're still great. They're still great every year, but the East River has gotten better in terms of there's better facilities, training, and they're just, they've raised their quality to match.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Baseball has been a little better of a thing, East River, over the past 10 years. Zach Borg on tonight. He'll be covering it all this week. Just got done with state track. It's state golf. It's state softball. Dakota News Now, sports anchor, live tonight. Zach, good to have you, man. Thanks for the time.
Take it easy, man.
Appreciate it. Zach Borg out on the beat, man. Dakota News Now, sports coverage from Zach Borg on South Dakota Sports Talk Show tonight. Follow him on Twitter if you're not, at Iceborg. Iceborg. Let's go to state track. This is one of the better play-by-play men, I think, out there. He's done a great job, South Dakota to North Dakota. He covers state track every year. Alex Heinert on the highlights from West River to East River. Alex Heinert, play-by-play man, state track recap, and more next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
The summer heat will be here soon, but our hot summer savings sale is on now. Get $1,200 off every door and $800 off every window. Plus enjoy no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Get an extra 5% off your entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Hurry, this exclusive offer won't last long. Now is the perfect time to upgrade your windows and doors, so grab these hot savings while you can. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resorts. Blaze into big wins with over $80,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs, including your chance to drive off in a 2025 Chevy Trailblazer. Win $300 prize packages every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. to midnight, plus a $1,000 prize package at midnight. So qualify today and save the date for the grand prize drawing on Saturday, July 19th. Big wins all summer long at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort in Deadwood. How will your night play out?
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Jensen at Physio. We want to be your trusted partner for physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab. As the official strength and conditioning partners for Stevens, Central, Douglas, and the Rapid City Rush, our team at Physio is building the best athletes in the Black Hills. If you have an athlete in the family, we offer long-term athlete development at affordable prices for middle and high school students. We also have the only board-certified sports PT in Rapid City. At our brand new facility, Physio is ready to help you perform at your best. One-on-one physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab, all at one place. Get started at bhphysio.com.
So, I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Hi, this is Jeremy with Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, inviting you to kickstart your morning by dropping by and grabbing some fresh donuts. I want to thank you for voting us the best in the Black Hills. We're up early making your favorite donuts, so stop by and bring some to the office. Everybody loves Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, and we love you, so stop by, get a great selection to brighten up your day. Serving Rapid City for over 40 years, Jerry's Cakes and Donuts at 109 East Omaha, and remember to like Jerry's on Facebook for some great giveaways.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Hey, thanks for making the show possible. Monday edition, we're back at it this week. South Dakota Sports Talk Show. From local to regional to national, try and get you covered here every night. If you miss parts of the show, a reminder, you can catch the show on demand. So the podcast is there. Search The Nate Brown Show. Wherever you get your podcast, you can hear high school guests, national guests, whatever you're looking for. We try and give you new content each time out, new guests. We don't record them and play them back, but we do have the podcast for you, The Nate Brown Show podcast. Search for it, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast. Well, this guy does a great job covering the state track meet. So I thought, we got to get the man. Puts in a lot of work on the research side. Gets everybody hyped up as the state track unfolds, and he covers it live. Alex Heinert, play-by-play broadcaster. He's on Twitter at Alex Heinert. State track in the books for another year at Howard Wood. Alex, good to welcome you in. How are you?
I'm doing great, Nate. No, thanks for having me today.
I appreciate your time. So you said this, state track is like your thing. You tell me why.
Well, I think it was one of the things that I got to participate in high school. I ran it at White River High School and got to make and be a part of 3 state track meets as an athlete. And it's just a special experience to see the entire state come together, from small towns to the big city, East River, West River. You get Class AA, Class A, Class B. The entire state shows out for this event in the same place, and it's the unofficial start to summer. And you see just these incredible things happen. And so the fact that I got to live that as a student athlete, now that I get to be a part of it as a member of the media, it's really special. It's one of the most special things I get to do, for sure.
Well, you do a nice job. I really enjoy it, covering the state track meet. Alex Heinert, another year in the books at Howard Wood. I want to go through some of the highlights and get your read. So this Bennett County story on the girls' side, I mean, I'm watching this going, wait a minute. They had 4 girls at state track, and they won the state team title? How amazing is that?
It's pretty amazing. I mean, it's one of those things. It's not unprecedented. I mean, in 2003, Justin Horn of Trip Delmont Armor won the Class B state boys meet by himself. so we've seen things like this happen before, but not. I mean, Justin scored 38 points and had an unbelievable state meet that year. These girls combined to score 85. And every event they ran in, minus the high jump, which was still a great effort by Payson O'Neill. She jumps 5'6". Every other event was a meet record. Like, every time they took the track, they broke a meet record. And you can't say that it was because they were running in Class B, because a lot of those were all-class gold medal times or would have broken the meet records in Class A or even in Class AA. Like, it's just impressive what these ladies did. And the fact that of those 4 girls, none of them are upperclassmen. These are freshmen and 8th graders doing this. And this is after they had led Bennett County to a state basketball championship as well. Like, it's just and their brother, nobody's really even talking about Rush O'Neill, who's a sophomore, who won 3 events on the weekend and broke a meet record. Won the long jump, won the high jump, won the 200. So the family combines to win 11 of the 12 events, or I should say 10 of the 11 events they competed in, because the girls ran in the 4x1 together. Like, that's just ridiculous. So that was an unbelievable story. It really was a weekend of families. Custer's had the Stiefel sisters go 1, 2, 3 in the Class A pole vault. That had never happened before, that siblings had gone first, second, and third at the state meet in the same event. You have the O'Neill family in Class B. It was a neat family story that just kept getting better and better over the course of the weekend.
I'll tell you, that's an amazing story. I think a lot of people are like, wait, what? That should be on every sports coverage across the board. Bennett County especially on this girls' side. They win their first ever girls' team championship. 4 girls, a couple of these sisters in this family. I mean, this is amazing. The O'Neill family just dominated on the Bennett County side. So they win the Class B girls. Now, I want to go to a Rapid City kid. This kid's going to play football at Texas Tech. And I know it's not 100-meter sprints and maybe gets all the headlines. He won the state shot put. He won the discus. Elias Gillen, going to be a football player. How big of an athlete is he?
Oh, he's very good. He won his second straight discus title, which is tough to do in AA, and he won the shot put as well. He was co-field MVP. He put up some really impressive numbers this year, and he will be an asset for the Red Raiders. I'm not sure what side of the line he's going to play on, but big physical kid and had a great state track meet. Ironically, he did not win the all-class gold medal, though, in the shot put. That was Paul Hookman of Sioux Falls Christian, who threw over 68 feet. That was number 3 in the nation this year and number 3 all-time in state history. But just the fact that we've got kids like Gillen and Hookman, and it feels like every year we have these kids on the throws side, especially for the boys, that have put up top 10 in the nation type marks. At least it's been that way the last handful of years. A different kid will emerge. Great son Lysis from Hamlin was number 3 in the nation and then the number 1 overall throw in the nation in the shot put a couple of years ago, and she's now competing at Florida. Again, it's another example of, like, we've got some of the best kids in the country in some of these events, and it's awesome to see them do their thing at the state track meet like this.
Alex Heinert, play-by-play man, covered state track. He's on Twitter at Alex Heinert. He's also done some great national broadcasts on the soccer side, and more. He's here on the Nate Brown Show talking state track. So here's something I noticed, and maybe it's just how it goes. Well, they just have a good program. Lincoln wins the AA boys team title and girls team title. Sioux Falls Christian wins the A boys title and A girls title. Is that just the way it is?
That's a great way to phrase that. I mean, this year it was. In Class A, Sioux Falls Christian has become an absolute powerhouse, as you know, in all sports. I mean, they've just been pretty dominant across the board, whether it's football or basketball or volleyball. And they have great coaches, and they do a great job instilling, I think, this element of team camaraderie, and like we're in it for each other, and we're doing this for more than just wins and losses. And I think they've got that great aesthetic going. So kids come out, and kids want to be a part of that. I can speak specifically on the track side. Like Luke Vanderleest has done an unbelievable job with that group, and they are always in the top 2 or 3 at state cross country for both boys and girls. And they always come and show out at state track. And the girls now have won 4 consecutive state championships. The boys have won 5 in a row. The girls this year put up 164 points, which we know we were talking as a group. Forey Flogan, former Rapid City Stevens cross-country coach who's a legend, was down on the field. And he's like, I don't know if I've ever seen, outside of Stevens, who scored 168 one time, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody score that many points in a state meet. Like, that's close to a national record. And they did that with, again, not this massive collection of kids at Class A, but they've been phenomenal. They swept the relays 2 years in a row. This year they won 4 of the 5 relays. So 14 of the last 15 Class A girls relays they have won, which is ridiculous. The boys had a bit more of a battle. Like, that came down to the 4x4, and they got the job done, just like they did last year. They had to kind of get maybe top 3 in the 4x4 to ensure they won the Class HA championship for a 5th straight year, and they won the thing. So really impressive there. And then for Lincoln, too, the girls ended up winning this year without really having any individual standout. Like, they didn't have a young lady win multiple events or a couple of kids that really stood out. They had really only 3 individual victories over the course of the weekend, but they just did it with their depth. It's kind of the same thing. Jim Jarofsky does a great job with that program. They've become kind of a perennial powerhouse. It's really Lincoln and Brandon Valley and Stevens year in, year out are kind of fighting for both the boys and girls championships. And this year Lincoln just got the job done on the girls' side with a little bit of a gap between the rest of the field. And then the boys, Nate, it came down to the last race. And Lincoln likely would have won more handily, but Griffin Fisher, who won the 100, the 200, the 400 last year, one of the best all-time in state history, he gets injured in the prelims of the 200 on Friday afternoon, can't run in either of those finals that he qualified for on Saturday, but ends up walking the race just to get the point for the team. And they end up finishing, they had to finish first or second in the 4x4 to pass Brandon Valley. They were down by 7.5 points. They get second place, which is worth 8 points. they win by half a point.
Wild.
And if Fisher doesn't go out to walk those events, the 100 and the 400 that he had qualified for, they lose the state championship. Like, it's just an unbelievable story of, what could have been a really heartbreaking, disappointing end to your career, and you go out and you do that, and you win a team of state championship. Just awesome. But yeah, you said it. I mean, Sioux Falls Christian, Sioux Falls Lincoln, they have become the powerhouses in those two classes. Yes.
I love the passion. I love the coverage, man. One of the best. Alex Heinert on State Track. Another great year of coverage. Alex, I sure appreciate you coming on, sharing some insight. Thanks a lot.
Oh, you bet, Nate. Anytime, man. It's my pleasure.
Appreciate your time. Alex Heinert on tonight, legendary track announcer. One of our great ones, South Dakota Sports State Track play-by-play man. Who's hot and who's not next? Hang on.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Get ready for summer. It's the Memorial Day sale through June 2nd at Splash City. Create your summer retreat in your backyard with a hot tub or a swim spa, or heat up with an infrared sauna for as little as $99 a month from the leading brands in the market. Jacuzzi, American Whirlpool, or Sundance. Get 0% financing and save up to $5,000 in factory rebates. Enjoy the summer ahead and save during the Memorial Day sale through June 2nd at the area's #1 summer fun spot, Splash City. Sioux Falls, Sioux City, and Rapid City.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Our locally owned Ace stores are committed to helping our neighbors and our communities. And because we're in the neighborhood, we can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for whatever your home or yard needs. Choose from top brands like Milwaukee, Steel, Traeger, and Benjamin Moore. Then pick up in-store, curbside, or we'll deliver your order right to your home. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know how to help. See acehardware.com for details.
Hi, folks. Kevin McPherson, McPherson Auction Company. Monday, the 2nd of June, we're closing on an online-only auction on a Meade County liquor license. Now, this is a rare and unique opportunity for you to purchase a Meade County liquor license at public auction. This is the only county license available at this time. You still have time to activate it for the 85th Sturgis Rally. For more details and to bid and buy on the Meade County, South Dakota liquor license, go to McPhersonAuction.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Slight chance of rain showers tonight, otherwise cloudy skies. Lows around 46. Winds out of the north 10 to 15 miles per hour. A mix of clouds and sun tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 66. Slight chance of rain showers tomorrow night. Lows dip down to about 48. Partly cloudy skies. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 51 degrees.
If you're in the market for a vehicle right now, you probably have noticed it's sometimes hard to find the right one. That's where Summit Automotive Group steps in. Stacy and Matt and their staff working hard to get a great selection of pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. At Summit Automotive, they have a different outlook on selling you a vehicle. You'll experience stress-free shopping, friendly, honest service with no high-pressure sales gimmicks. Before you buy, drop by East Highway 44, SummitAutoGRP.com.
Whether you're a pro or a Joe, a weekend warrior or a gardening great, Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. Nobody plans an injury, but when people throughout the Black Hills and beyond suffer a setback, Monument Health Orthopedics is here to provide comprehensive medical care. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists is dedicated to helping patients regain the quality of life they've lost due to an injury, arthritis, or joint wear and tear. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for everyday athletes like you.
Hey, sports parents and ballers of all ages, Rapid City has a new sports facility that you have to check out. E3 Sports Complex on East North Street is the newest indoor sports facility featuring 4 full courts. E3 Sports is here to serve the community and wants all athletes of any age to come and experience expert training, coaching, and the opportunity to unlock your athletic potential. Memberships and court rentals are available now. Come to play at E3 Sports Complex. Learn more at e3sports.org.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk.
All right, who's hot and who's not on a Monday night, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. Everyone's favorite buffet is at the Pizza Ranch, locally owned and operated. Who's hot and who's not on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Radio. In my Who's Hot, great memories Saturday night. Sad to see it go off TNT. The NBA on TNT. Final broadcast was Saturday. Been watching it for a long time, just thinking about all the coverage. NBA on TNT no longer. I'm okay with it going back to NBC, but farewell to NBA on TNT and my Who's Hot great coverage of the years. And our Pizza Ranch Who's Not tonight, Florida head baseball coach Kevin O'Sullivan. They got eliminated from the regional. He just berated the Coastal Carolina staff, associate AD. You know, their game time got moved by an hour, and he just went on an expletive-filled rant. Just went off. It was caught on phones and everything. Bad look. Kevin O'Sullivan acted like a tough guy, got bounced from the tourney. See ya. Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show, South Dakota Sports Talk Show in the books for a Monday. The podcast is going up right now. See you tomorrow.
Unlock big savings and add style and security to your home with Schlag Door Locks from Menards.